Do you find it hard to communicate your truth? Do you find it hard to open up in relationships? Do you find it hard to set boundaries and tell people how you feel because you're afraid to lose them? This is the thing, we're afraid of confrontation. We're afraid that if we say what we feel, this will upset other people or even make them leave us. But it's so important to own what's inside us. It's so important to respect ourselves enough to speak up. And we can't say the wrong thing to the right person. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, our biggest fear is being alone. This is our abandonment and our rejection wound peeking its head into the surface again. We're afraid if we say what we feel, the person or the situation, the people are going to leave us. But as I said, we can't say the wrong thing to the right person. If you set boundaries with people, if you speak your truth and speak what's on your mind to people, the right people are going to respect that. And they're going to respect you for respecting yourself. Because this is the thing, we're not respecting ourselves by letting people take us for granted, by letting people walk all over us, by not even it's self-boundaries as well. And this is it, we're disrespecting ourselves by not setting self-boundaries. We're continuing on the same patterns over and over again. We're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting the same or a different result. But that's insanity. You know what I mean? We really have to start to change our behavior in order to change our lives. And this is the thing, when you set a boundary with yourself, you change your behavior. So if you set a boundary or speak your truth to another person, they will respect that and change their behavior if it's their behavior that's affecting you. But you set a boundary with the wrong person, they're the ones that are going to retaliate. They're the ones that are feeding off your energy, and they're the ones that effectively you're going to have to walk away from. And I think our biggest fear in speaking our truth is losing people. But you don't lose the right people. The wrong people will lose you, and the right people will respect you. And this is very hard when it comes to family members. We think we have to do things because they're our family, or we have to do things with this friend because we've known them so long. We have to do it this way. We have to do it because we've always done it that way. And that's bullshit. If a person is infringing on your mental and physical health, if they're upsetting you, or even if you're upsetting yourself by allowing this behavior, because we all have to take responsibility for what we let into our lives. We can only be upset by somebody's behavior based on our own level of wounding. So what is within you that needs to change in order for that behavior to change? But you need to speak up about that change as well. Because oftentimes we can be angry with another person for disrespecting us, when in actual fact we're disrespecting ourselves by allowing certain behavior to happen because we haven't spoken up. And this is we need to start using our voices. And this is one of our fears. And it's one of my biggest wounds, is using my voice. In past relationships, I was the quiet little fucking mouse because I was, controlled. I didn't say what I felt. Anytime there was a fight, I was the one to cower away and apologize for their behavior. I was afraid of confrontation. I was afraid, and even I was afraid to upset other people. If you say something, if you tell somebody they're doing something wrong, or there's something that you want different in the relationship. And this isn't just romantic, this is friendships as well, or family. You're afraid to upset. You're afraid that you're going to upset somebody by telling them how you feel. But that's not right. If you're in the right relationship, whether, any kind of relationship, it's not going to be that way. If somebody loves you, if somebody respects you, they're going to care about what you're feeling. They're going to care about what you're thinking. So they're not, it's one of the ones that's so big for me, but it's one of the ones that's so big for a lot of us. We're so afraid. And this is it. We're afraid to be alone. It's that unconscious inner child wound. So scared that we're going to hurt the person and they're going to leave. or we're going to upset, just upset the whole relationship. And it's so hard when it comes to family, because it's like, how can I confront this behavior? Because a lot of the times with family, there's a lot of toxic old belief systems. So what you're saying is going to go against the fucking grain, and it is going to probably cause some tension. But if you're in a dynamic that is affecting your mental and physical well-being, it doesn't matter whether they're family, whether that relationship has gone on a long time, whether that friendship has been since childhood. It doesn't matter. If there's something affecting you and giving you dis-ease, making you uneasy, you have every right to speak up. And I know from experience, we can say the thing to the person and the person retaliates. Like, I set boundaries with my dad. I turned around to him and I finally explained it. I told him I needed some space. We were fighting all the time. And my energy was depleting. My mental and physical well-being was gone. Every bit of life force I had was gone. I had a fear-based entity attached to me. I wasn't in any well state of mind at all. I was fucked. And I finally came to the conclusion I had to walk away. Take some space. I asked for that space. A couple of weeks later, on the phone again, we started fighting again. And I just told him straight up, I cannot be around negative energy. I just can't be around negative energy. And on the phone, he said, do you think you need to go to a doctor? Maybe you have a mental disorder. That's the wrong person. And when you set a boundary with that kind of person, you kind of need to walk away, because they're not going to fucking listen. They're not going to own their shit. But if you set a boundary with the right person, they're going to say, okay, what can I do to change this situation? What can I do to help our relationship? Setting a boundary with someone will help both of you change your behavior so that the relationship will be better and that both of you will actually thrive. So you speak the boundary to the right person. You say those things to the right person. They're going to say, thank you for speaking your truth. Thank you, I respect that. I don't want to lose you. Let's fix this. What can I do to fix this? This is the thing. So you have to understand, if you lose a person by setting a boundary, that person is not supposed to be in your fucking life. You're not supposed to go then, okay, right, sure, let's just pretend. No. I had to walk away completely from family members, and I had to walk away from my brother at one stage as well, because he was influenced by my dad's words against me. And thankfully now me and my brother are back talking, but I had to set a boundary there as well, because I could feel my dad's energy through him. And that was hard, but I had to set that boundary. I had to walk away for a certain amount of time. My brother came back and apologized, changed his behavior, and now we're back, we're back to normal again. But that's the thing. The right person will come back with changed behavior. The right person will respect that you needed to do the thing because it was affecting your mental and physical well-being. This is the thing we have to remember. We have to start putting ourselves first. And there's such big energy at the moment about letting go of people, situations, and dynamics that no longer serve us. What is keeping you stuck? What is draining your energy? Ask yourself that. Are you in these friendships, relationships, family dynamics? Is it filling you with joy? Do you leave a conversation full of the joys of life? Or are you absolutely fucked after it? Because, that's the way I used to be around my dad at one stage. It's like literally I had no will to even speak. As an empath, we take on energy. And if we're taking on low vibration energy all the time, it actually fucks us up. Where you can't even function. That's how it gets. That's how bad it gets. And, only because he was family, I continued to be in his energy. So it took me a long, long time to kind of say, look, I have to put myself first. This is so important. What areas of your life do you need to change? Are you setting self-boundaries? Because oftentimes, there's the one that I had to go through lately. It's like I wasn't setting boundaries, and I was getting angry with the other person because they were disrespecting me. But in fact, I was disrespecting myself, and allowing myself to be taken for granted because I didn't set a boundary, because I didn't speak my truth. I didn't say how I felt. So, you know, people can walk all over you if you don't stand your ground. And, you know, that person might not be intentionally trying to hurt you, but if you're not vocal about how you feel, that person can't change their behavior. You can't change your behavior. You keep repeating the same cycle because both of you don't speak your truth. You know what I mean? So and that's about open communication. Being open about what you feel. You know, and this is the thing in relationships. Oh my God. You know, this happens so many times. You know, especially for women. We turn around to our partner and say, I'm fine. You know, I'm big, bad mood, fucking angry energy. I'm fucking fine, right? When they ask, are you okay? And then you go, in your mind, you're like, if he doesn't know what's wrong with me, then he's an asshole. Do you know what I mean? And then you get angry and more angry with them for not reading your fucking mind. What's the problem here? The problem here is that you didn't speak your fucking truth. When, you know, how does a person know they're doing something wrong if you don't tell them they're doing something fucking wrong? You can't change a fucking behavior. You can't fix a mistake unless you know you do it. It's a simple thing, like. You know, I remember, like, you know, I know we're so afraid of hurting somebody's feelings. The simple thing, I was straightening a friend's hair a few years ago. You know, I wasn't used to straightening hair. So she was really tiptoeing around it, like, you know, would you do it this way? And I was like, and she was like, sorry. And I was like, what are you fucking sorry for? How am I supposed to know how to do it right if you don't fucking tell me, like, you know what I mean? How? You know, and that was, you know, we need to be, and we're just so afraid. We're walking on eggshells. We're like, oh my God, if I say this now, I'm going to hurt the person. You're hurting yourself. And, you know, a person is going to respect you for respecting yourself. So this is so important. This is such a big energy right now. Setting boundaries, speaking your truth, using your voice, respecting yourself, not being taken for granted, not taking yourself for granted, and not letting people walk all over you. And not getting angry with people for not reading your mind. It's just that simple, like, you know. That's the, you know, we have to just own our shit, like. And that's the thing. We spoke about this last week in a video. Taking responsibility for your side of it. You know, we're so angry with people for draining our energy. We're so angry with people for disrespecting us. But yet we're not communicating how we feel. So how are we able to change a dynamic if we're just sitting there in angry energy going, it's all their fault? You have to own your side of it as well. And ask yourself, what can I do here to change this? If you notice a pattern, if something is repeating, you have to change it. What part can you change? And that's what I noticed for myself. Is like, I can't expect behavior to change from myself or others if I don't own my part in it. If I keep doing as I've always done my whole fucking life and expect a different result, that is fucking stupid. You know what I mean? I need to fucking figure this shit out as well. I need to own this stuff. And, you know, I was literally back in a disempowered energy. I was back feeling weak. I was back feeling like I did in toxic relationships because I wasn't owning my shit. You know, expecting something to change, but yet I didn't empower myself by speaking my truth. And then I did. I got some help from a friend and I realized I have to do this. I have to open up. I have to say what's on my mind. I have to get my power back by changing my own behavior, setting a boundary with myself. This is so important. You know, it's not just setting boundaries with other people. It's setting boundaries with dynamics in our life, patterns, repeated cycles, our own choice to not speak up. And I know how hard it can be. I've been there so many times. It's so scary to speak your truth. It's so fucking scary to think that if you say something, you're going to lose somebody. And sometimes you do. But if you lose a person, that means they weren't the right person. You cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. You just can't. You know, you really can't. You can't lose somebody who loves you and respects you and appreciates you for opening up and telling them how you feel. You can't. The only person you can lose you're losing yourself by not speaking your truth. You're losing yourself by letting this voicelessness control you. And that's what it is. That me being in that disempowered, fear-based energy, it made me weak. It made me weak, and it made me feel like I had no control of myself. And then I spoke my truth, and I felt so good. Like, I haven't gotten a reaction from that person yet, but like, you know, I still feel better because I set that boundary. I spoke up. But being in that fear-based energy where you don't set that boundary, where you don't empower yourself, you're just going to go down into another vicious cycle, and you're going to lose yourself completely. And that's what I did. I walked away from family members. I spoke my truth in other areas, and now I feel better for it. You know, and this is the thing. I've been able to walk away from things now that no longer serve me. Anything that's not right for my energy. I'm trusting my intuition again. I'm trusting how my body feels around people. What energy are you in? Is it making you thrive, or is it lowering your energy? And like, it's not certain. It doesn't actually have to be the person, as I said. It could be just the dynamic. You know, and you don't have to lose that person or walk away from that person. You just have to change the dynamic. Change the way it is, and something else will change as well. The behavior from yourself or that person cannot change unless you change the situation. So this is it. Ask yourself, where in your life do you need to make a change? What boundaries do you need to set with certain people or situations? What boundaries do you need to set with yourself? How do you need to take your respect back? How do you need to empower yourself again by using your voice? Speak your truth, be open in your communication, tell that person how you feel. Because that is so important. We can't read each other's minds. Well, we can a little bit. The telepathy thing works. But like, you know, there are certain things that we do need to speak up about. And when a wound is so deep, where we were rendered voiceless as children or in past relationships, that's why it's so important now to use our voices. That's why it's so important to empower ourselves by speaking our truth. So set those boundaries. Regain that self-respect. Don't take yourself for granted. Don't disrespect yourself, and then others will respect you and not take you for granted either. The right person will listen to you. The wrong person will leave. And that will actually be a benefit to you because you will be able to regain your power. So, as I've said, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person. So trust yourself in this, and trust what you need to say, and do what is right for you. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help on your path.